Hello children. Today we're going to show you some stats, right? I'm going to show you how any stat can be used to show you, to further whatever agenda, right? So you imagine, I don't know if you can see this from here. Let me just cut here and have a look if I can see. Actually stay there, I'm going to go behind the camera. Yeah, I can see it. Let me show you what this is. Right, okay, so if you imagine these scores at the top are test scores for a class in a school, right? So you have 9 kids in the class, and these are the test scores put in order, right? So you've got 10, 10, 10, you've got 4 at 10, and then you've got, you know, a couple of 90s and a couple of 100s, right? Now, if you add up that total score, when we talk about averages and stats, we talk about, when we say average, we're talking about something called a mean average. And a mean average is when there's 9 scores, you add up the total of the 9 and then divide it by 9, right? So you add up all these scores, which equal 510, and then there's 9 participants, so you divide 510 by 9, and you get 56.67, right? That is what we think of as an average. So the majority of us will say, okay, that class, their average score on that test was 56.67 or whatever it was, right? That's usually how people work out averages. Yeah. But the media and people that push agendas are very, very clever, because you hear words like median, when you might have heard when people say, oh, the median average income, the median income, the mode income. They're all different averages. There's different views on what an average is. That's why there's different types of averages. So that's a mean average. Now, a median average is when you put all the scores in order and pick the middle one. So when you put these all in order, there's 9 scores there. So the 5th one will be in the middle. So it'll be 10, 10, 10, 10, and the 5th one will be in the middle, which is, I believe, 90 on this, right? So the median average test score in this class is 90. So someone could say, oh, the average score is 56.67, or they could say the average score is 90. They don't tell you which average they're talking about. Now, the mode average is another type of average out of the 3 main types of averages there are. The mode average is basically the number that's the most, that comes up the most. Now, if you notice here, 10 comes up the most, more than any other one. So the mode average score in this class will be 10. So now you look at the difference. I can say the average score here is 56.67, and I'll be correct. That is the correct stat. The mean average score is 56.67. The average score of this class is also 90, and I'm also correct and factual because the median average is 90. Also, the average score of this class is 10, because, and again, I am right in what I'm saying, and I'm truthful, because the mode average is 10. Now you think, whatever agenda I'm trying to push, like if I've got something against this school, this class, I could be like, well, this class is underperforming. The average score on the test is 10. This class is terrible. This class needs to be shut down and we need to start a new program somewhere else. Now, if I'm a proponent of this class, I could be, this class is flying. The average score is 90. The median average of the class, kids are scoring 90%. Kids are scoring 90% on their tests. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And if I'm just looking at it as a certain way, I could say, oh, okay, they're a pretty average class. The average score in there is like 56, 57 out of 100. Now, that doesn't mean the mean always comes out the best. Sometimes you have to look at other things, because the mean, I'll put this away, but the mean can also be, people think, well, then just use the mean one. The mean one seems the fairest. You add it up and you divide. But sometimes that doesn't work either, because
the range, you could have 1,001.
That's
and
it.
The mean is what, 500 or something.
100%. You know the best example I ever heard of? I read it in a book once, and I think at the time Bill Gates, they were talking about Bill Gates. This is years ago. This is before Elon Musk. This is before all them guys. I think Bill Gates was worth about 42 billion. Let's say, argument's sake, yeah, 42 billion. And they said Bill Gates walks into a homeless shelter. In the homeless shelter, there's 39 homeless people and 2 nuns and Bill Gates, right? The average income in that place is 1 billion. The average income is 1 billion in that place at that time. So what's the average income in this place? 1 billion.
Yeah, that is.
And that's a stat, and that is correct, and that is a mean average. The mean average, that when you see me use that example, you probably think, well, the mean one is actually the one that's quite, seems the fairest because it's at 56.6.
So how can you figure out what is the fairest for what you're looking for?
There is no fairest. That's the whole point. You know what?